Hey, all you Ontario birders, I'm here to tell you about how you can make a small change in the way you record your sightings that'll make a huge difference for bird conservation in Ontario and give you a chance this month to win binoculars. If you haven't already guessed it, I'm talking about Ontario's third Breeding Bird Atlas project. It's a 5-year effort to map the distribution and abundance of Ontario's breeding birds and one of the most important sources of information for bird conservation. We're starting the third year of 5 of data collection, and a lot of Ontario birders think you have to be an expert or spend a lot of time looking for nests. Neither could be further from the truth. We really need your help across the province. If you're going birding this time of year, especially in June, then you're already atlasing, and we just need you to make one small change. We want to get 20 hours of effort in every 10 by 10 kilometer square in southern Ontario, so every bit helps. We need you to register for the project. Go to birdsontario.org. Find the register button and create a username and password and follow the steps to sign up. Now this is the part that makes this so easy for all of you who are already e-birding. On your profile page, which you can find by hovering in the top right over your username and clicking profile. On your profile page, scroll all the way down until you find the eBird exports box. Here you can find an option that says automatically push your nature counts data to eBird after entry. Select yes. Fill in your eBird login and your eBird password and then click save. Now your account's set up, so everything you submit to the Atlas automatically goes to eBird. Isn't that cool? Now all you have to do is download the Nature Counts app and use it like eBird, and all your records will go to both places.
The Nature Counts app is really easy to use. It's undergone a ton of improvements since the first year when it was trialed in year 1 of the Atlas. So if you haven't used it for a couple of years, you might be pleasantly surprised how much better it's gotten. Start a checklist, and by selecting your date and your time, those should be automatically set. You can then choose your protocol. Choose general atlasing if you're stout atlasing or birding. Don't worry about the other protocols for now. You can edit the location by clicking edit location. That's going to bring up your map that shows your Atlas squares, but also the eBird hotspots. So you can select an eBird hotspot if that's where you're birding. Otherwise, just place the marker wherever you're starting your checklist. If you've got a personal location in eBird, as long as you're starting on the app within 50 meters of that spot, then you'll use that personal location in eBird. Click next to start your checklist, and you'll see a screen that's fairly similar to the entry in eBird. It's got a lot of similar features to the eBird entry app as well. Things like quick entry, if you had a number of a particular bird, maybe you had a few more, and maybe you had a few other birds. It's got quick entry. The main difference is the focus on breeding evidence codes. That's the BE column. If you click the little plus button in a species column, you'll be presented with a grid view of all the different breeding evidence codes. Some of them are grayed out because they're invalid codes. Some of them are red because they're unusual or there's a warning for that code for that species, and some are yellow if those codes should only be used but with caution for that particular species. Those warnings and cautions are species specific based on the species biology. Also, the app will also tell you whether you're in the breeding season for the species, which is very helpful. Don't worry about memorizing all the codes. Most of them are very simple. If you don't know them all, you can click List View to see a quick definition of them. Most of them are simple, like things like habitat or singing or pair. So if you can't remember them, choose the List View, and you can always go to the Atlas website to see the full coding sheet. Once you've selected your breeding evidence codes for the species you observed, click Review, and you can finish your checklist. There's lots of other cool features about the app, things like pinning exact locations of particular species observed. This is really useful for rare species. Click through the review, stop your track, you can edit your track, and eventually submit your checklist when you're done.
Now for the coolest part. You can win binoculars just by birding. The Atlas is giving away a pair of Vortex binoculars this month. All you have to do is enter 10 complete checklists with at least one coded species using the app. That's a species with breeding evidence code entered. You can also get an extra entry just by sharing this video and tagging the atlas on social media. So please head over to birdsontario.org, register today, and start contributing to bird conservation. You never know, you might get that warm fuzzy feeling and win yourself some new binoculars.